So I recorded something last night. I really thought it would go through, but I'm having issues again. So hopefully this goes through. I'm going to tell you two stories. One, they're both about friends, but one my dad had touched on in one of his videos, which was my brother had a really close friend in high school who I think had spent the night at our house and had a really bad dream. And then like the following day or a couple days later, he called my mom while he was at school and he
Why is she baby?
asked her.
Why is she baby?
So he called my mom from school. This was back before cell phones, so he literally like called the house phone from a payphone and said he wanted to come over and have lunch with her. So he came over. My mom had said when he first showed up, he was like really quiet and obviously like kind of nervous to talk to her. And she totally thought like, oh no, like is there like a pregnancy scare or something? And I'm the safe adult. What am I gonna do? So he told her about this nightmare he had, and he was like, in this house, a lot of nightmare type stuff was happening to our whole family. And there was a particularly bad dude there who was covered in shadow and was really going after all of us and him. And in his dream, at the end of it, he got to like the top floor and was able to get out of a window and jump and start running through a field to get away. And in his dream, when he turned around and looked, he saw my brother saying, send somebody, you know, to come like save us. Of course it was a lot darker than that, but I feel like the last time I told the story it was maybe too dark, and that's why TikTok wouldn't publish it. So yeah, so he had this like crazy nightmare. So he's telling my mom this nightmare, and he goes, you know, I hate to tell you, but I'm pretty sure your house is haunted. And at this point we were telling no one outside of the family. So my mom was like, that's an observation, an astute observation. It is. Have you talked to John about any of this? And he said, no, for some reason he came to her first. I don't know why he did. I never really talked to him too much about it. I don't know how much my brother talked to him about it or my mom. She just kind of said that she like confirmed like, yeah, it's haunted. And, you know, he and my brother were like inseparable. And after that dream that he had, he was really hesitant ever to spend the night. It was really hard for my brother to get him to like stay over. They were about 16 or 17 at this point, so it's not like sleepovers were, you know, happening constantly or like an end all be all, but like they'd stay up and play video games or play guitars together. So that was really interesting. I really don't know why he felt like he needed to tell my mom first or like tell her in the middle of the day at school. It really bothered him that much that he felt that's what he needed to do. I had another friend, this was around the same time. I think this happened after, but I can't really remember. And this guy was like, I was like remembering this. I really wish I was a more fully formed adult when I knew this kid. He was a very formed, full frontal cortex, like completely formed human being. And I just, as I'm thinking about it, I just wish I had also been a little bit more mature and grown, because he just was so cool, and I wish I was still friends with him. But anyway, a bunch of us came over to my parents' house. I was living there at the time. I had come back from not living there. I was going back to high school to try to graduate before the laws in Colorado wouldn't let me attend high school anymore, and I'd have to get my GED. I can't remember why we were at the house, but we were going into the basement either to get something or hang out down there. I can't remember which. But before this guy even entered my parents' house, he like stopped outside and was just kind of looking and looked at me and was like, this is quite the place you have here. And I was like, you know, I didn't realize what he was trying to say. And I was just like, yeah, well, you know, it's my parents. It's not mine. I just live here. And then when we went inside, he let everybody go in front of him to go down to the basement. And he was like, he seemed hesitant. When he got to the bottom, he got to like literally the floor after the last stair down to the basement, and he stopped immediately and just went, I'm not going to go any further. I'm not going a single step further. And I like turned around. I was like, why? And he was like, there's no way. I'm not going to do it. And I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of bad vibes down here. And he was like, I don't know. He literally said, I don't know how you people live here. I don't know how you even live in this. He's like, I can't. He's like, do whatever you guys are going to do. I'm going to hang out either upstairs or out front. I don't want anything to like do with down here. And he turned around and went upstairs. And I can't remember. I was racking my brain if we stayed there or if like we were staying or if we left. I can't remember if he like ended up having I don't remember how the rest of that day panned out, but I do remember the next time we hung out at my boyfriend at the time's house, everyone was like asking him about it, and they're like, what happened? Like, why would you go down there? And I was kind of asking without like really pushing, like, did you feel something? Like, what, you know, basements are always kind of spooky, but like, what happened? And he just was like, I don't even want to talk about it. He's like, I don't want to bring that energy over here or around me. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk to you about what I felt. Nothing. And he's like, it is crazy to me that you all live there. And he's like, and that you leave here and go back to there to sleep. He's like, I cannot believe it. So he never said like if he saw anything or what exactly he felt, but it was obviously bad enough that he didn't want anything to do with it. I should also say that like this guy was the last person I'd expect to be that way. He was kind of like a stone cold badass. Like he, you know, for how young we were, like I was like 20, he wasn't much older than me, like 1 or 2 years. And he worked in a tattoo studio. He had tons of piercings and tattoos. He rode motorcycles. He, was living on the edge, you know, but like, I just never expected that from him. So anyway, crazy stuff. Sorry again, I didn't get this posted last night. I did try. Honest try was made.